What would you do if you found a dead body? Probably freak out, right? Well, look no further, because we're about to discover what happens when someone finds a dead body. Today we're going to be talking... Jose Reyes. He's an ugly one, ain't it? And before you hoes get on here talking about some of y'all looking like, fuck you. Every time I say somebody ugly, they're like, oh, y'all look just alike. The fuck we do? And we need to add Victor Alas over here. I think it's pronounced Alice, or maybe it's Alas. Also, just letting you guys know before we get started here, this story is dealing with satanic devil worship. It's brutal. It's very gory. I'm not going to be able to tell everything on TikTok. So if you watch it on TikTok and you want to see the full video, because it is going to be longer, come to my YouTube page. I'm going to have a longer video there. Also, if you want an even longer version, then I'm going to be going live and talking about this video most likely tomorrow, which is going to be a Saturday this time, March the 22nd, 2025, 2 p.m. Anyway, this is Coran. I believe her last name is Cervantes, or it could be Cervantes, but Coran. All right, let's go back in time. It's February of 2014. We're in Clear Lake, Texas. Coran was determined to be a wild child, so she skipped school. She was like, I don't want to go to school today. It is what it is. Now, the teachers, of course, they reported this because if you don't go to school, they have to send like messages to your parents. At least they do here. I'm guessing they did the same thing there because the dad found out. And when he got home, he flipped out on him. Now, he grounded her and was like, look, you is in your room for the rest of the night. You can't come out, period. Now, the dad actually had left a little bit later on because he went to the grocery store to get some, I guess, some food to cook and whatever. And as soon as the dad walked out, she was like, you know what? That man ain't finna tell me what to do. And so she left. She had some black pants on and a Rob Zombie t-shirt. Now, also, there are a lot of people in this store, so I'm going to try to make sure I keep you guys updated on who's who and what's what. But anyway, after she left, she actually contacted her friend. His name was Randy Hurtado. They had been friends for a while, and she hooked up with him. She told him the whole spiel about how her dad, was like, she's grounded because she skipped school. And she was like, let's meet up. Now, in the apartment she stayed, there was actually another apartment that was close by, and there was like this empty parking lot, whatever. So they actually went to this parking lot just to meet up over there. Now, you have teenagers skipping school, meeting at a parking lot. She's mad. What do you think they went to this parking lot to do? Drugs. Nothing incredibly hard, but just devil's lettuce and something that rhymes with Panax. Now, they initially didn't actually have this stuff on them. So she and her friend, Randy, they actually went to his dealer's place, someone who actually sold this stuff, so they can actually get the thing that rhymes with Panax. Now, her and Randy, after they went and got the stuff that they needed, they started to actually do the substances. But Randy did not want her to get too messed up. So he took the thing that rhymes with Panax while they both the devil's lettuce. I'm sorry if I'm talking like this, but I gotta make sure I can post this on TikTok. Now, Randy actually had some friends. Their name was Victor Alas, which I'm about to pull this picture of, and Victor's cousin. His name was Franklin. Here is Victor right here. I don't have a picture of Franklin, but I don't like Franklin neither. And we're going to get to the story. You're going to figure out why I don't like this dude. So anyway, Victor shows up with Franklin while she is in the parking lot with Randy. And together, all these kids went and got more Xanny and popped them like pimples. Now, Coran is still feeling left out because she was like, all of y'all are popping your shit. I want to pop too. And the three chivalrous niggas was like, no, we don't want you to get too messed up. Leave the hard stuff for us. But she kept on begging because she's a big girl at 15. And finally around like 4:30ish, 5 o'clock p.m., whatever, they decided like, all right, fine, we'll let you do it. So she popped. So now all of these dummies are up there taking bad stuff. And the temperature started dropping. So they was like, oh, it's starting to get a little chilly. What we gonna do to combat the cold? More drugs. So they lit up the devil's lettuce and they continued the party. And this helped for a little while, but the temperature kept on dropping. So they was like, you know what? We got to get out this cold weather. She was like, I can't go home. They didn't want to leave her. So they was like, where can we take this party to? That's when they thought about this woman named Candy. Tastes like candy. Candy was this middle-aged lady that stayed in the nearby apartments who used to let kids come over her house and do drugs. I don't know about y'all, but I find that type of behavior very disturbing. What adult let teenagers come over their house? Not even her own kids or family, just random teens come over to the house. You know what they say about people who get comfortable with kids, right?
Sometimes you gotta pop out and...
So anyway, they walked over to Candy's house, they knocked on the door, and then Candy answered.
Who is it?
It's time I could sit down. Somebody want to come over my damn house.
What the hell you want?
Now, I don't know what Candy looked like or sounded like, but I can imagine she had a heavy smoker's cough. After the kids knocked on the door, she opened the door and let them in. They all got higher than Giraffe. She also offered them liquor to go with the Xanax, and the whole lot of them got sloshed. Now, after she, everybody's been doing all these substances and drinking all this stuff, Candy saw Coran, and she saw that Coran was toe up from the floor up. I mean, think about it. She's done the devil's lettuce. She's now taking a pill, and now they are drinking yeah. And these are not adults. They're like 15, 16 years old. So Candy sees Coran, and she's like,
Hey, sugar, you sure you don't want to stay the night? I'd really hate for you to have to go down that road when you toe up like that.
Now, Coran thought for a second, and she was like, yeah, my dad is probably going to lock me out because I snuck out the house. So, yeah, I can stay here. And then Candy let Coran go into the bedroom to sleep it off. Now, around 9 o'clock, that's when all hell started to break loose. Introducing Perry the Platypus. There's an animal that he looks like. I want y'all to tell me what animal it is, and the best one in the comment wins. You don't win anything, but you win my heart. Anyway, so Jose the Hoe shows up, and he's yelling and screaming. He's like, hey, where's Coran? I don't know why he was yelling for Coran. That was something I could not find. I looked everywhere. I was like, why was he yelling for Coran? But yeah, he was like demanding to see her. He's probably showing his yellow teeth. And everybody was like, yo, be cool. She's back there sleeping off some stuff that she took. So Jose the Hoe and this young old looking bitch, Victor, they went looking for Coran. Now this next part is a little muddled, but I think I figured out how the events kind of portrayed out. Hoe and bitch, they went into the room and they saw Coran was sleeping, and by this time Candy was also in the room sleeping as well. Now Candy got mad they was in the room and yelled at them, probably in that smoker's cough.
What y'all bitches doing in my room?
I'm looking for Coran.
Get the hell out of here. Coran.
What?
Coran, you want to stay here? You can stay here if you want to.
I said no.
You need some more room. I throw my titties around here. So you can... You sure?
I don't want to stay in this house, girl. No. You got rats and roaches.
So even though Candy was a little concerned, Coran decided ultimately she was not going to stay the night there. She had a friend whose name was Jocelyn, who actually stayed in the same apartment complex as Candy. So she was like, no, I'll just go over to my friend's house. And Candy, she was like, okay, cool. Now, Randy, remember the guy that she met at the beginning of the store in the parking lot, the first guy? He actually had left soon after Jose and Victor showed up. His mom came and picked him up from this middle-aged Candy's house. I would say where are the parents, but these are the parents. I know I'm dogging on Candy hard, but I mean, she was the adult. And Randy's mom, what do you think? Maybe Randy could have lied to me like I was just at my friend's house, maybe. But I'm sure the mom, if she knows he was over at some grown woman's house with a bunch of other kids, she probably would have, I don't know. But the mom came and picked him up and he dipped soon after Jose and Victor showed up. But he told them to take her home. Randy knew that Coran was messed up, so he entrusted Bitch and Platypus to actually take Coran. He was like, take her home, please. And I think this happened before they actually found Coran inside the bedroom. I think they showed up, they met Randy, he was like, take her home, and then Randy left, and then they went into the bedroom and found her in the bed with Candy. I think that's how that went. Because, yes, she was like, instead of going home, she was like, I'm going to go to my friend's house. Okay, you see how the story's rolling? Now, even though Candy was like, okay, I'll let you go, Candy, she still watched as they carried Coran, because Coran couldn't walk. Like, she was toe up. So they each one had her by the arm. She had their arms over their necks, and she kind of hobbled out while they kind of carried her, and Candy was kind of watching. Once again, she's the adult in this situation. There is no... Okay, now we're about to get to the bad part of the story. Instead of taking her home, they took her to an abandoned apartment building where they used to smoke. This was an apartment that they all knew about, where they used to go, and you could just walk in. There was a closet, and I guess a big walk-in closet. You can go in there and you could smoke in peace. There was no lights, no running water. It was an abandoned apartment, but yeah, they took her there instead. Now, it's Jose, Victor, and I don't know if you remember Franklin, which was Randy's friend who showed up at the beginning, who was Victor's cousin. Franklin was there too. They all hobbled her to that apartment building. They took her into the closet under the guise that they were going to smoke some more. Now, they did not start smoking. Franklin, the other guy, he saw they were like doing some freaky weird shit. So he was like, nope, I'm noping right on out of here. And so Franklin went home. He and Victor, they stayed together they slept in the same bedroom. So he went home, went in the bedroom, got in bed and laid down, went to sleep. Now, while he was sleeping in the middle of the night, Bitch and Platypus actually had showed up in the house. They snuck into the room and they started talking. Now, Platypus was very, very upset, and Franklin didn't know why. Then, after a few minutes, Platypus had left, leaving Victor and Franklin in the room, and they continued talking. Okay, so now let's fast forward a little bit. It's about 4 days later. We're going to introduce another stoner. His name is Arturo. Now, I don't have a picture of Arturo, but he knew just about everybody here. He stayed in apartments across from Candy, so he knew Coran. He knew them. He actually introduced the smoke spot in that abandoned apartment building to these hoes. So it's around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and he also can't sleep. So what's a stoner supposed to do? Guess where the stoner is going to go? The apartments. He went to the apartments that he had shown these two, where they had some privacy. He opened the door, and right there on the floor, he found a body. Remember I asked y'all, what would you do if you found a dead body? Well, Arturo, he saw that body, and he was like, so he ran up out there. Did he call the police? Absolutely not. Instead, he went to the apartments of these two dudes that he knew, and one was like had medical experience, and the other was in the military or something. So he got them. They came to the house to check and see what was going on, and that's where they found Coran. Keep in mind, she's been there for 4 days. I'm not gonna go all details just in this video, but once again, watch me live tomorrow if you want to go over everything. But anyway, they saw she had no pulse, so they called 911. Finally. Y'all, she was bleeding so bad they had to get a forensic odontologist just to identify her through dental records. Basically, that's like a dentist for police investigation. I'm not going to go into everything that they found in this video. Once again, you have to watch me live for that. And the live video will be uploaded. But what I'm going to tell you, there were satanic carvings that was etched from her chest to her stomach. Red bodily fluids. There was upside down crosses painted on the walls, pentagrams. And also, there were curtain rods sticking out of her. Has any one of y'all seen 13 Reasons Why? You remember that bathroom scene? Yep, 2 curtain rods. 2! That's all I'm going to tell you about the crime scene here. Now, what do we know about people who do terrible things? What do they start doing? They start talking. He forced himself. Let me reiterate. They forced themselves. And when she started to fight back, remember, she was told up. She had taken substances. So when she started to fight back, they just... And Perry the Platypus, he told multiple people. Him and his friends were rapping. They were having a rap battle. And he started rapping about it. I'm not going to tell you everything he said in the rap here, but I'm going to listen to this. It was my first time. So my homeboy showed me the ropes, and we ran a choo-choo on this hoe. Then my homie grabbed a belt and started her. And the bitch said, why you doing this? And we told her to shut the F up. And then we mink. And she tried to run and... Oh, and let's tie the devil back into this, because he ended this with saying, and she asked us why, and we said, we're helping you sell our souls. To who, sir? Well, we know who. But yeah, he said the devil told him to do it. He said, the devil. And his baby mama. He had a baby mama. Somebody hit that. His baby mama got up in there and was like, oh yeah, he's really into the devil stuff. He got satanic stuff all over the house, carved on the wall. Now y'all know I'm always going to be like, believing what you want to believe. But why the devil? That's like worshiping a Kronos from the Greek legends. Or like having a worship service for Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, what? But yeah, he said that while they were taking advantage of her, by the way, because she was out of it, the devil told him to do it. And he had to do it to sell his soul to the devil. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this off right here. Perry the Platypus and this old looking bitch, they were both convicted of capital M word, unaliving. But because they were both under 18, they couldn't do life without the possibility of parole, and they couldn't do the end it all sentence. Now, they did get life, they just had to have parole. 40 years. Both of them can get out in the year 2054. I don't know, man. I don't know. Coran, man, if anybody, I want you to rest in so much peace. These two can suck it. Was they're in prison, so they probably are. Yeah, once again, I will be going live and talking a longer version of this, and interacting with you guys, telling you guys everything if you guys want to hear. So make sure you catch me for that. That's crazy, right?